Today we're going to take a look at using ZooKeeper as a service discovery agent with Tyke. So out of the box, the problem with ZooKeeper is that it's going to return our data in Base64 code. So I have ZooKeeper running in Docker, and I have a Zoo REST client that's also running from source, but we can also choose to run it as Docker. Anyhow, if I was to curl my ZooRest API, which integrates with ZooKeeper, not integrates, but we'll talk to it, then let's see what happens. So I'm doing a curl to my ZooRest API here, and I'm saying using the v1 API, return to me the data in this node zk_tyke. And I've already configured all that up to return a single node. And then I'm piping it through Python just so we can clean up the data. Let's see what we get back. So, okay, so the problem with this is that the data about my upstream service is Base64 encoded. If this wasn't the case, then I could integrate it with Tyke directly, just using the out-of-the-box service discovery options. But because it's Base64 encoded, what we have to do is decode that. So what I've done is I've set up a Tyke API here. So let's just go back to our APIs and let's disable Slack for a bit. Sorry, Jason. Okay, so I have two APIs here. We're going to first look at our ZooKeeper Service Discovery API. So all this does is I've set it up as a virtual endpoint, which is the Tyke Lambda serverless function kind of thing. So if I open up virtual path, well, we can see the code here. All the code does is it makes an API call to the same call that we just made here. So I made a curl to localhost 8889 v1 get zk tyke, and then you can see here that I'm just going to make the exact same call, and then I'm going to take the response and then Base64 decode the .data variable, which is this one here, and only return that. And that's all. So now if I do a curl to this API, which is the -ZooKeeper API, and actually I don't need all this, and then enter, you can see that all that's returned is the information on the node, which is this. So if I take this information that we got back from ZooKeeper and I echo that and then Base64 decode it, you can see it's exactly the same data. So Tyke is just doing that for me. Okay, so now that the API is set up, we can actually use this. So we can use Tyke as the service discovery agent through as a proxy. Okay, so what does this look like? Let's go back to our other API that we would actually expose and our developers or third-party vendors or whatever would hit. So I have my HTTP bin API from ZooKeeper, and then I would just set up service discovery like I would for any other service discovery agent. So our query endpoint is our Tyke API that's going to return data. And then the only other thing is the data path, which I have to set. So looking at the JSON we got back, there's a key called path. So I would just say that, and that's it. And now we can actually hit this API, and it's going to proxy to this information here, to http bin.org. So let's try that. So if I do a curl, curl to that, and then do a get, I'm reverse proxying. And Tyke is doing the service discovery for me as a proxy. It's taking the data back from ZooKeeper, manipulating it into something that it can use, and we're off. And that's it.